For just $90, whether you like it or not, these are the budget phones you can get right now. The Galaxy A07, Infinix Hot 60i, Redmi 15C, and Tecno Spark 40. And of course, you could spend more if you want to go higher than $90, or you can even spend less if you want to go lower. But in this video, I am on a mission. As you can see, a mission to find and crown the ultimate budget king among all these four smartphones. Here is how it's going to work. So I'll be ranking each phone across 9 different categories: the price, the packaging, the display, the build quality, performance, software, battery, and the extra. Each category carries 10 points, and by the end, the phone with the highest overall score will earn the crown of the budget king of $90 smartphone. There are a couple of reasons why I'm doing this. First, I genuinely want to know which one of these smartphones deserve the title of the budget king, and more importantly, I want you to see the strong points of each smartphone so that you can figure out which one suits your need best. At the end of the day, the goal is to help you decide which phone will give you the best value for $90, which is roughly around 150,000 naira. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. The official price for all these smartphones sits between $90 to $95. So when you convert that into naira, things get a little bit tricky, you know. Price vary depending on where you are buying, who you are buying from, and sometimes even when you are buying. What I've done is gather the lowest price I could find for each of these smartphones. So you have to keep this in mind though, that what I found might slightly different from what you see in your own area. So here is the breakdown. Galaxy A07 comes in at the lowest price I found for the Galaxy A07 is 131,000 naira, 142,000 naira, 134,000 naira, 139,000 naira. Before you rush in and say Samsung is the cheapest, here is something that is very, very important. At this price, Galaxy A07 is only giving you 4 by 64 gigabytes of internal storage, whereas all these other 3 phones are going to give you 4 by 128 gigabytes of internal storage each. From the list, the Redmi 15C comes on top. It has the lowest price while still giving you the highest storage option. So that is a easy 10 for Redmi 15C. Both the Infinix Hot 60i and the Tecno Spark 40 come in at a slightly higher price, but still offer you 4 GB of RAM plus 128 GB of storage. So that is a solid 9 points for the Infinix Hot 60i and the Tecno Spark 40. So Galaxy A07, well, it's the cheapest, yes, but it only gives you 64 gigabytes of internal storage. It is clearly not enough, and to go beyond that, you will have to spend extra money for a higher round. So in this round, the Samsung Galaxy A07 gets 8 points. Let's move to the packaging. The packaging is basically everything you get inside the box when you buy this phone. Tecno Spark 40 and the Infinix Hot 60i, they nailed this one. They give you everything you need to get started with: the charging brick, the Type A to Type C cable, the earphone, the protective case, and even the SIM ejector too. That is a complete package, and both of them deserve to get a solid 10 points in this packaging category. Redmi 15C almost hits that same mark, but it doesn't come with earphone in the box, and because of that missing accessory, I'll be giving the Redmi 8 points instead of 10. Now Samsung, it is kind of funny. I wasn't expecting anything from Samsung in the first place, so maybe just a cable and the SIM ejector too. That is exactly what they gave us in the box. But here is the twist: the charging brick and the protective case are packaged separately, and they are not even available everywhere. Only certain regions or selected buyers actually get them when they purchase their Galaxy A07. For everyone else, you are just stuck with the bare minimum. It would have made more sense if Samsung made these extras available for everyone, but clearly that's not the case. I understand what Samsung is trying to do, but I don't think they are ready for that yet. So for packaging, Samsung is getting 6 Moving to the build quality and design, I'm going to split the point into half. 5 points for the build quality and 5 points for the design. All of these smartphones are made from plastic bag, plastic frame, and the glass on the front. And no matter how fancy the marketing sound when they describe the type of plastic used, let me tell you, my brother, plastic is plastic, and that is not a bad thing. All these phones are budget phones, and plastic is always the go-to material to keep cost down. So no problem there. All these phones except the Galaxy A07 comes with IP64 rating, which means better dust and splash resistance. Samsung, on the other hand, only give you IP54. The Redmi 15C gets the full 5 points because they added Gorilla Glass 3 for the added protection. The Infinix and Tecno are getting 4 points, while Samsung is getting 3 points in this area. For the design, I'm looking at a few things. I'm looking at the rear design and the camera layout and the variety of color that are available. Tecno Spark 40 is quite popular for its design. A lot of people love it because it looks stylish and it even gives you the vibe of a phone that doesn't belong in the budget category. For me personally, my favorite design here is the Infinix Hot 60i. It comes in multiple colors, actually the most color out of all these smartphones. The camera arrangement looks clean and the overall build quality feel nicely put together. Redmi 15C also deserves some love. It is solid in design with several colors, and that blue variant with glass finish really stand out. It adds the premium touch you wouldn't expect at this price. Samsung Galaxy A07 keeps things simple and straightforward. The design isn't flashy and sophisticated. A lot of people actually like it for that minimal look. Personally, I think it is fine, but compared to others, it doesn't push that boundary as much. In addition to the build quality, the Infinix Hot 60i is going to get additional 4 points. Redmi 15C also gets additional 4 points, while the Tecno Spark 40 also gets additional 4 points. Samsung is going with another 3 points because the other 3 smartphones actually looks better. For the total score in this segment, Samsung is getting 6 points, Infinix is getting 8 points, Redmi is getting 9 points, while Tecno is getting 8 points. I think it is perfect time to move to the display. On the paper, all these 4 smartphones look quite similar. They all comes with LCD panel, 1080p resolution. Brightness is decent, not super bright, but bright enough for budget phones. I have to say that the colors they produce are actually really nice. The Infinix Hot 60i, Redmi 15C, and the Tecno Spark 40, they all featured 120Hz refresh rate, while Samsung A07 is capped at 90Hz. Samsung 90Hz refresh rate actually feels smoother in real world use. Almost every app runs consistently at 90Hz on the Galaxy A07, whereas on the other 3 smartphones, many apps are still logged at 60Hz. Only a limited number of apps truly benefit from that full 120Hz refresh rate. Add to Samsung's legendary display tuning, I think the Galaxy A07 delivered the best display experience here, even though it has lower refresh rates on the paper. Another big thing is the design of the display itself. Infinix Hot 60i and the Tecno Spark 40, they both uses a punch-hole design, while the Redmi 15C and the Galaxy A07 stick with a teardrop notch, which honestly feel a bit outdated in 2025. Punch-hole just give you a more modern and immersive feel when you use your phone. Overall, I think the Infinix is going for 9 points for the inclusion of that punch-hole display as well as the Tecno as well, while the Redmi and the Samsung are going with 8 points in this aspect. Now we are moving to performance. This is where Samsung is flexing its muscle. I wasn't expecting it, but Samsung did better in this department. Galaxy A07 is powered by the MediaTek Helio G99, while the Infinix, the Redmi, and the Tecno all comes with MediaTek Helio G81. The difference isn't dramatic, but make no mistake, the G99 is clearly better. Multitasking is smoother, games feels a little bit more stable, and the overall performance is just a step ahead. And for a budget phone, seeing MediaTek Helio G99 inside is honestly a good deal. I have to commend Samsung for that. Performance is all that matter for some people. All these other things that I've been talking about, the packaging, the design, the extras, the everything, don't miss much if the phone can't run apps and games smoothly. I even saw a comment once where someone said AI is not going to play Call of Duty for me. You are right. Then the MediaTek Helio G99 is going to do that for you. Galaxy A07 is getting all the 10 points here. The other smartphones here get 8 points. Now, let's talk about software. And this is where the experience really differ across brand. The truth is, you may never know how another software feels if you've only stuck with one. If you are using Redmi, you won't really know how Samsung One UI works. If you are on Infinix XOS, you won't know how Tecno iOS feel. Overall, I have to say all of them are smooth, they are user friendly, and they are also easy to navigate. Infinix Hot 60i, Redmi 15C, they all kept things fairly simple. Their skins are lightweight and not overloaded with bloatware, making them pretty comfortable to use. When it comes to Samsung's One UI, to me, this is the best of the bunch. It is very clean, very simple to navigate, and super smooth. The biggest win here is the Samsung software support. Samsung has promised 6 years of major Android updates and security patches on the Galaxy A07. That is huge. If you know, you know. None of other brands here can match that performance. To be fair, Redmi will probably push out updates for like 2 or 3 years, even though they didn't make any official statement about that. Tecno and Infinix, on the other hand, don't really guarantee much when it comes to long-term updates. But both the Infinix and the Tecno have done something interesting. They added AI into their software. It does make the experience smoother and more fun, whether it is helping with productivity or just making things feel a little bit futuristic. In this category, I'm going to give Samsung a solid 10 points for the smooth software and the long-term support, while the Infinix and Tecno are going to get 8 points for the inclusion of AI, while the Redmi 15C is also going with 8 points because eventually they are going to give us maybe 2 or 3 years of OS updates. Now we are moving to the camera department. We are again going to split things into 2 parts, the photo and the video. All of these smartphones comes with 50 megapixel wide lens on the rear with 8 megapixel front facing camera. Since the hardware is basically the same across the board, their photo performance should be quite similar. So I'm allocating a flat 5 points for each and every one of them. When it comes to video, Infinix Hot 60i and the Tecno Spark 40, they can both shoot in 2K, which is impressive at this price. Meanwhile, the Galaxy A07 and the Redmi 15C are only limited to 1080p video recording. So for the video, the Infinix Hot 60i is getting additional 4 points, while the Tecno Spark 40 is also getting additional 4 points. The Redmi gets 3 points because they don't have 2K, while the Samsung is also getting 3 points for the same reason. Altogether, Samsung is going with 8, 9 for the Infinix. Redmi gets 8, while Tecno gets 9. I think that's a fair distribution according to their capabilities. And now let's talk about the battery. The Redmi 15C take the crown here with a massive 6000 mAh battery paired with a 33-watt fast charging. That is a huge upgrade for Redmi and easily puts it ahead of the pack. And for that, Redmi is getting a solid 10 points. Infinix Hot 60i has a 5160 mAh battery, while the Tecno comes with a 5200 mAh battery. They are quite impressive as well. What makes them stand out is that support for 45-watt fast charging. That is faster than you will get on any budget phone. For that reason, I'm giving the Tecno 8 points for the battery department, while the Infinix also getting a solid 8 points. The Galaxy A07 carries 5000 mAh battery. The fast charging is capped at 25 watts only. It's not terrible, but definitely behind the others. So Samsung is getting 7 points. The difference in charging speed isn't a massive deal for budget users because most people will be charging their phone for a while anyways. What really matters is the battery capacity, and in that regard, the Redmi's 6000 mAh battery is the real winner. Now finally, let's talk about the extras. Extras are those additional features that makes a budget phone more enjoyable to use. At this price point, there are some features we just expect to see, and thankfully, all these 4 smartphones include those features. I'm talking about the expandable storage, the SD card support, side-mounted fingerprint sensor is present, and also the presence of 3.5mm audio jack. The basics are well covered across board. Both the Infinix and Tecno go a step further by adding stereo speakers and even an IR blaster at this budget level. Those little extras are rare and they definitely improve the overall experience. The Infinix Hot 60i can do reverse wired charging at 10 watts, and for that reason, your 60i is getting the full 10 points. 10 points goes to the 60i. Tecno Spark 40 is getting 9 points here because it doesn't include a reverse wired charging. The Galaxy A07 has all the essential. Samsung didn't include screen recorder, 7 points here. Why the Redmi should get 8 points? Because it does have a reverse wired charging. That brings us to the end of all the category. The most important part of this video, it is time to add up all the points and find out which one of these smartphones takes the crown as the true budget king of 2025. If you've enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe for more comparison like this. Let's do the math. Let's add everything together and review the ultimate budget champion. But the addition of the Samsung Galaxy A07 score, addition of all these is going to give us 70 points. Now the Infinix that is giving us 79 points. Redmi 15C 77. Finally Tecno 78. Infinix Hot 60i is now officially the king of budget phones under $150 with 79 points in total. We have the king here and we have the chief here, Tecno Spark 40, and the rest, what are they?